2022 is right around the corner, and so many people are already planning and setting new goals for their lives. In this video, I'm gonna be doing two things. First, I'm gonna be telling and showing you how I miserably failed in achieving some of the goals I set for 2021, and we'll find out why I couldn't get the results I wanted. So you'll see what worked and what hasn't worked for me, as well as my progress in some of the things I've managed to do. And in the second part, I'll show you my planning for 2022 applying the S.M.A.R.T system. As you can probably notice, I'm just starting to upload videos to this channel, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing it and give this video a thumbs up if you think it is helpful for you. When I first started journaling back in 2020, I was amazed at the countless beautiful templates and images I could see on Instagram and Pinterest about planners and bullet journals, and I was so worried about not being able to do pretty much the same in terms of how good I was in my bullet journal style. Like, I wanted to be aesthetic and be as beautiful as the journals on the internet, which is not a problem, but I was just focusing only on that, and I forgot about the content or the effectiveness of the system to achieve goals and organize my life that should be inside of it. So I was just spending a lot of time drawing and making these beautiful things just to make them beautiful but not useful. So the design process and stuff is really cool and relaxing for me, but I wasn't getting results because it wasn't a good system. At least the only thing that helped me the most was the habit tracker session. I couldn't wait each day to fill every empty square. It was good because it provided me with visual proof of my hard work, which in the end was a subtle reminder of how far I was getting. Helped me to build the habit. So yes, every empty square could motivate me to get started because I didn't want to lose my progress. But that couldn't stop me from failing. As I said, I believe my major problem was the goal system I was using, which was just writing down my goals on paper. And I don't want to be that philosophical about the discussion around goals and stuff, but here are some things I've learned from the goal system I was using. Focus on the system and not just on the goal itself. Now, don't get me wrong here. All I'm saying is that the system is just as important as the goal. You need to consider both when planning to accomplish what you want. So instead of just jotting down your goals in your planner, try thinking about how you're gonna get there. All the little tasks and habits you have to add to your daily routine to meet your goals. Consider, for example, traveling somewhere, anywhere. You have the destination, your main objective. But how do you get there? What are some of the things you need to do or organize to reach that destination? Obviously, you have to decide your transportation, what season of the year you want to travel, how long you'll be there, and so on. Not necessarily in this order. Anyways, I think you got the point. You have an entire journey set before you to reach the end. So you need a system. To set goals, I need more than just a goal. I need to think about how I'm going to get there. What specific actions will I take? How will I know when I've done this? When will I have this completed? Do I have the ability to do this? Is it something I have control over? You know, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. A S.M.A.R.T system. And that's why I kind of failed. Like, I told myself I wanted to read more the Bible this year, which is a really broad goal, right? Like, how would I do this and how would I measure it? Well, I used to have a tracker, but I didn't have any Bible reading plans, so I was just reading randomly and forgetting what I had already read. The next thing I learned was don't rely on motivation or emotions to get things done. We are fickle. Now I am willing to be productive and invest my time in learning new skills and developing something solid on the internet. You know, I feel happy and confident, but I don't know if I will feel the same tomorrow. And I probably won't. Motivation, excitement, come and go. It is something we often cannot control. So more than just motivation, I realized that I needed and still need discipline. Discipline is something I do, something I choose to do. Motivation is something that can come and go. which is harder to choose to do or control. When I think I am out of gas, discipline keeps me moving. And maybe developing discipline is a subject for another video, right? But having a system where you can track your progress and know exactly what you need to do is certainly very helpful. If you are tracking your progress, recognize your progress. Do not trust your own expectations and ideas of yourself, but the reality of where you were. If I were to look at myself 4 years ago, I can definitely recognize that I could barely play simple progressions on the keyboard, let alone play some Johnny Johnson blues music. So somehow I made some progress. It may not be what I initially imagined and dreamed of, like being able to improvise and play like Bill Evans, but yeah, even better than before. For planning for this year, I wanted something simple and easier. Not because I don't like using colors and collage, because I really love it, but because it's more practical using this way. I'll probably try new things throughout the year, but for now I'll stick with this. So I divided my goals into 5 areas: financial, spiritual, and so on. Before doing on my planner, I organized a few things on a separate paper so that I won't spoil anything. But basically, I consider things like deadline for the goals I set, and also how I intend to achieve those goals. So for example, if I want to read the Bible, the whole Bible in this year, I consider of reading it chronologically, and for that I've downloaded a few plans, like reading plans, with the chronological order and with all the days, so it's more organized and I'll have exactly the notion of how much I need to read each day and so on, So that's basically how organized my goals for this year. And also, if you feel like, you can download some of the Bible reading plans in the description down below. And let me know in the comments down below what do you think of this video and of this S.M.A.R.T system. Does it work for you or not? And yeah, see ya guys, and thanks for watching.